CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Good evening. The families of two men beaten to death in Chinatown are growing more frustrated with the court process. The man on trial for their deaths fired his lawyer this morning and then created a commotion from the holding cells. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
This past week has been really hard on the families, both ourselves and the Huang family.
Christina Trang is still processing what turned out to be an eventful morning in court. The man accused of killing her father fired his lawyer just a week into his second-degree murder trial.
Quite disappointed to hear there's more delays, and we just need to find a solution to how we can stop all these delays in the court system.
Justin Bone is accused of 2 unprovoked attacks in Chinatown in May 2022. 64-year-old Hung Trang, an employee at an auto body shop, and 61-year-old Bonfu Kwong, the owner of an electronics store, were beaten to death.
I want to stay strong for our family and the Huang family, and I think my dad would want us to be strong.
After defense lawyer David Woolsey finished cross-examination of an Edmonton police officer, Bone, who was allowed to sit at the desk next to his lawyer, stood up and fired him. "I'm ready to let you go," Bone announced to the court. When it was suggested he take a minute to speak with his lawyer alone, Bone refused, saying he wasn't satisfied with how his lawyer was dealing with charter issues or cross-examination of witnesses. Soon after Bone was taken to the holding cells, he began yelling and screaming so loud it disrupted a different trial in another courtroom. After a lengthy break, a sheriff informed the justice Bone refused to come back to the courtroom and threatened to fight. The justice addressed the defense, saying he's done a good job so far. The best outcome would be for you to continue as counsel, he added. Bone has had 5 lawyers, and this is the 3rd time Woolsey has been on the case. He will update the court tomorrow morning on whether he'll stay on as counsel or if Bone will have to represent himself. An amicus, also known as a friend of the court, has been present since the start of the trial in the event Bone found himself without a lawyer. Their role is to ensure trial fairness, so with or without a lawyer, the trial will continue. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A 27-year-old man is dead after his car broke down on the Anthony Henday and he was hit by a pickup truck. Police say the man's car broke down in the far right lane around 8:30 this morning. It was struck from behind by a truck going highway speed. Police say the 27-year-old was inside the car at the time and the only person in it. He died there. The 23-year-old man driving the truck was taken to hospital for precautionary reasons. It was supposed to be a fun weekend in Canmore for some young hockey players and their parents. Instead, several of them ended up in the hospital after falling ill while playing in the pool. A day later, it's still unclear what made them all sick. CTV's Tyler Barrow reports.
I just thought I had to worry about drowning. I didn't think that they were going to be poisoned in a pool.
Melissa Earle is having a hard time comprehending how 2 of her children ended up in the hospital on Sunday. They were in town for a U7 hockey tournament when her husband was with them in this pool at the Canmore Inn and Suites. Earle was about to join them.
2 kids came out and they looked like they had taken in a bunch of water, so I was checking on them. And then everyone just started running out of the pool. I was trying to get in, but I couldn't because everyone was running out. And then I heard people screaming, "Get out, get out." And all these kids come running out and they're puking everywhere.
She found her family and another mom was calling an ambulance. Emergency health services put mass casualty plans in place. Instead, 9 children were checked at the scene while their families told to head to Canmore General Hospital for further assessment. 1 child was taken by ambulance in serious but stable condition. And 1 other child was transferred to the Alberta Children's Hospital.
They ended up taking everyone into this room and checking oxygen levels and stuff.
The family's hospital discharge paper says poisoning was caused by cyanide. Cyanuric acid, which is a different compound, is sometimes used in pools as a chlorine buffer. Canmore Fire said its initial air monitoring detected an elevated level of a hazardous substance, which was suspected to be chlorine-based. In a statement, the hotel says there is no evidence to support claims about cyanide, adding so far testing has not identified any indication of deliberate contamination. Still, parents want to know how this could happen.
You have a tournament of 6-year-olds coming to stay, and there's kids everywhere. Like, you should make sure your pool's okay.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Canmore.
The Alberta government is planning to collect oil sands royalties by taking bitumen instead of cash so it can help bring the bitumen to market. It's authorizing up to $900 million in borrowing to that end. Industry insiders say the province might use that money to attract an oil pipeline proponent, with taxpayers picking up the tab for any failed projects. CTV's Kevin Green reports.
Energy economists say a recent order in council that allows the province to collect royalties in actual barrels of oil instead of cash also gives the province the ability to borrow $900 million tax dollars to spend on marketing. But they also say it opens the door to backstopping private companies in a pipeline bid.
It says $900 million for hydrocarbon marketing activities, which implies doing what we just talked about. But it also allows for the purchase of shares, making loans, doing joint ventures, providing loan guarantees, or setting up subsidiary corporations.
Richard Masson was once the CEO of the Alberta Petroleum Marketing Agency. He says selling royalty barrels alone would not require anywhere near that level of borrowing authority. Instead, he says the borrowing authority lines up with what would be needed if the province were stepping in to reduce the financial risk for a pipeline company.
If there's no private sector proponent for a pipeline, and APMC is now going to step in and be the loan guarantor for the pipeline.
Masson says the upside could be better marketing access and stronger royalties, but the downside is a significant loss for taxpayers if a project fails. But Alberta's Minister of Energy says the close to $1 billion line of credit is simply for marketing the province's oil, not building or backing a pipeline.
This money is not used to secure any corporate loans or anything else. It is simply used as an overdraft to make sure that we are able to go into the business of selling products that producers give us to sell.
NDP leader Naheed Nenshi doesn't buy it and says the government is putting taxpayer money at risk.
The problem we have is this government has never shown any evidence of being competent or sophisticated or thoughtful when it starts messing around in the private sector, which they are now doing.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation says even if the $900 million in potential debt is just to help sell Alberta bitumen, it's a price too high to pay.
$900 million, right, of taxpayer money being put on the line by the government. That's a huge amount of money, and it's not, taxpayers shouldn't be propping up the government spending on this marketing, right?
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Canadian military helicopter crews from CFB Edmonton are taking part in a month-long training exercise in Alaska. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti explains why they're heading north.
The CH-146 Griffins are gearing up for Exercise Striking Bat, heading north to Fort Wainwright, Alaska.
Exercise Striking Bat is our opportunity to go up north and work in the Arctic and really look to validate our crew's ability to work in the Arctic, subarctic environment.
The month-long mission is to help military personnel prepare for operations in the area. It will also involve U.S. aviation members and soldiers from Norway, Italy, and Mongolia.
We'll be doing the typical helicopter things with them, moving them around, providing support from the air, that sort of thing.
6 of these Griffin helicopters will be flying to the Arctic and making 5 stops along the way. The mission involves around 90 air crew and support staff, all crucial to the exercise.
It does demonstrate sovereignty and our resolve to other neighbors like Russia and China.
This exercise has been planned for over a year, despite U.S. President Donald Trump's comments about Greenland and NATO's help in Afghanistan after 9/11. CTV's military analyst says Canada and U.S. military relationships are strong, but Canada needs to do more on its own.
Given everything that's going on in the world politically, Edmonton and Cold Lake will even take on increased importance as projecting our capability to assert our sovereignty in the north.
Having a base like Edmonton and Wainwright, Cold Lake, and Suffield, these are just absolutely critical training areas for our preparedness and our ability to support anywhere in the world at any time.
Edmontonians might notice low-level flights over the next 2 days as the remaining helicopters head north. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Hundreds of Alberta separatists were rallying in Calgary today. They were signing an independence petition in favor of the province leaving Canada. People signing the petition say the relationship with Ottawa is broken and cannot be fixed. The petition needs 177,000 signatures to be successful and to pose as a referendum question to Albertans later this year. Today, Alberta's NDP caucus denounced the Separatist movement, pledging to always remain a part of Canada, and it's calling on the UCP government to do the same.
I've made it very clear what my position is. It was my first bill, Alberta sovereignty within a united Canada. I want a new relationship with Ottawa.
If she continues with that, that's a real dereliction of leadership. You're talking about a referendum to break up the country, and you won't say what side you're on as a premier?
People attending the rally say they want Alberta to be an independent country, opening up trade with the United States, but not becoming the 51st state. With warmer weather on the way, the city has deactivated its cold weather response. The extreme weather response went into effect Wednesday in Edmonton as temperatures dipped into the -20s overnight. 2 shuttles will continue to operate from 6 p.m. from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., providing transportation to available shelter spaces. An Edmonton River Valley advocate group says plastic bristles are being left behind when the city clears paths and bridges. The city says it uses bristle brooms when clearing certain bridges to protect the wood and coating. Members of the Edmonton River Valley Conservation Coalition say they've picked up more than 450 bristles this month and more than 1,700 over the past few years.
This is an issue for the fish, it's an issue for the birds, it's an issue for the people too who drink this water. The public spaces bylaw that says that it's against the law to litter in the city. So why is the city littering and allowing all this plastic to enter our river?
The city says it's aware of the bristle debris. It says it tries to reduce the environmental impact by taking special measures when sweeping bridges over waterways. When the snow melts, the city says staff will be sent out to pick up the litter. A teacher from Edmonton had the opportunity to become a student on the other side of the world. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti explains, his cooking skills snagged him a spot on Japanese TV.
Neil Carby's love for cooking Japanese food has taken him on a tasty journey.
Tempura is probably my favorite, overall Japanese food.
By day, Carby is a high school teacher. By night, he's whipping up delicious meals inspired by a trip to Japan.
The food was amazing and the people were amazing. I came home and I really wanted to embrace that. So then I did a series on my social media channels called Food I Missed from Japan.
Those cooking skills helped grab the attention of the Japanese TV show Who Wants to Go to Japan? The show highlights people who are interested in Japanese culture. A select few are given the chance to learn from the pros.
We hosted a little dinner party, a bunch of interview stuff. It was really cool. And then it was a surprise at the very end of that weekend that they were like, no, here, you're actually going to Japan.
Carby and his wife had 10 days to prepare for a trip of a lifetime.
To get that opportunity to actually learn from Japanese people how to make this cuisine, it just made it that much better and that much more special that we can take that and then I get to eat it all.
From sourcing local ingredients to learning from Michelin star chefs, Carby learned the in and outs of making tempura.
If an ingredient is going to taste better after it is tempura fried, you shouldn't be preparing it that way, so it's meant to showcase it.
Back in his own kitchen, Carby is putting those skills into practice.
I think that I actually do have skills and talent, and that helped to validate that a little bit and gave me a little more confidence.
Giving this teacher the ultimate field trip and an A+ for his cooking. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next on CTV News, sticking around, why a colorful piece of hockey equipment is seeing a resurgence in sales.
We're seeing more tape being sold at a time, and we're seeing it more globally.
Good evening, folks. A little bit cooler today than it was yesterday. We got to -6 on Sunday, -9 for a daytime high in Edmonton. But this will likely be the last cooler than average day that we see for a while. By the end of this week, we're back above 0 for daytime highs. Forecast in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by Senior Home Care by Angels, Canada's choice in home care.
Local Olympic curler Mark Kennedy is heading to Italy this week with his team. Kennedy is third on Team Jacobs, representing Canada, Milan Cortina. He already has 2 Olympic medals in curling. Kennedy says these games will be a little different because athletes from different sports will be so spread out, and that may be an advantage for the veteran Canadian rink.
Having been there before, I think we're okay with knowing we're a little bit separated from everybody and that we just have a job to do, and that's to go and compete and play well and, really focus more on the curling as opposed to all the other distractions that come within Olympic Games.
Alberta is well represented on both the men's and women's Olympic curling squads. 2 other members of the men's team and the alternate are from Alberta. The women's skip, Rachel Holman, is from Beaumont, and alternate is Rachel Brown from Edmonton. Police officers and kids from Edmonton's downtown core got together this weekend for a friendly hockey game. It was the 15th year for the McCaulay Cup. Despite the cold weather Saturday, dozens of people turned out. The game gives families a chance to get to know the police officers working in their area.
You're on the bench and you get to talk to the kids, you get to relate to them differently. They get to relate to us, and then I guess they see, that the cop's just a person. So it builds that trust. They know if they need to go talk to someone, if there's something that they need to report, they know that they can trust the police officer to do that.
Special guests included Oilers alumni Al Hamilton and George Larocque. Skates and hockey equipment were donated, so every kid had an opportunity to play. A pair of men in Edmonton say the hit show Heated Rivalry is giving a product they created 10 years ago new life. They've seen a resurgence in sales for a piece of hockey equipment that modified with color in an effort to make the sport more inclusive. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more.
Chris Wells and Jeff McLean opened the door a decade ago, introducing hockey to rolls of rainbow-colored tape.
Pride tape came out of a research question I had 10 years ago, was why are young gay male and bisexual boys dropping out of organized team sports at much younger ages than their heterosexual cisgender peers?
The Edmonton Oilers were the first in the NHL to support the initiative. Soon after, the rest in the league asked for rolls. Then Pride Tapes makers had to stick handle the NHL's short-lived attempt to ban it 2 years ago and briefly saw a jump in sales. Now they've scored in the international market, with orders coming in at an unprecedented level. Thanks to the worldwide success of Heated Rivalry, a fictional Canadian gay romance show about star hockey players.
We've actually been seeing sales follow the trend of where the show is going. We're seeing more tape being sold at a time, and we're seeing it more globally.
They say sales are up 40%, recently receiving 3 bulk orders from Germany and sending boxes to UK's Elite Ice Hockey League for Pride Week.
We see a lot of players using it in warm-up, and then a lot of teams will also tape the top of the goalie stick and use that in the game as well. So we're hoping to see it used a lot.
The makers of Pride Tape are also hoping to see it used in the hit show.
We're in conversation with the folks at Crave about partnerships. Who knows, maybe in season 2, Pride Tape might make its debut in an episode.
The pair also hope the mission they set out on 10 years ago doesn't go away.
Despite having Pride Tape, we still don't have an NHL athlete, player, present or even in the past that has come out.
Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The new Coronation Park Sports and Rec Centre will open its doors tomorrow. The facility includes amenities like the Peter Hemingway Aquatic Centre, a running track, fitness centre, and the Alberta Velodrome. The City of Edmonton calls it North America's first indoor triathlon training centre. The city will hold a grand opening ceremony Friday. Giveaways and activities will also happen. The doors open at 5:30 in the morning. The city is offering a limited number of free admissions for the grand opening. You can find out more by visiting the story for this story on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. When we return, bathed in sound, why some Edmontonians are turning to tranquil tones in order to relax.
Brings me into this way better place that's just so much more grounded and centered.
Tuesday on Your Morning, the warm-up we've been talking about arrives. We'll tell you just how warm it's going to get as January winds down. Plus, we're talking about what makes an ideal retirement. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Right on average for your morning low. Today we started the day in the mid-minus teens. A couple of degrees cooler than average. This afternoon, -9. Took a couple degree drop from where we were yesterday. This is what we were expecting. Nice little bump in temperatures Sunday, and then a step back today as some cooler Arctic air rolled in. That was mainly affecting eastern and northeastern Alberta, though. And then as this warmer air starts to make its way in, on the leading edge of that, we've had some snow from the Peace Country, southeast through the Edmonton region. This will continue to track off to the east as we head through the overnight here and through tomorrow morning. I think after midnight, snow should be tapering off and moving out of the Edmonton region, and we'll see some clearing for tomorrow afternoon. Back to mostly cloudy skies on Wednesday with a chance of some more light snow across northeastern Alberta. Here in Edmonton, looks pretty dry and snow-free for the next few days after we finish off with the flurries here later on tonight. Arctic air dropped in, as we said, to east central and northeastern Alberta today. Watch that purple zone rather slide all the way east tomorrow. Some milder air into western and southern parts of the province. Temperatures above zero in a couple of spots, and that milder air will gradually move further and further east as the week goes on. So we're a degree or 3 below zero here for daytime highs the next 3 days, and then above zero by 2 to 8 degrees to close out January and through the first 5-6 days of February. Close to minus 30 in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, more like about minus 20 in Lloydminster. We'll be in the minus 11 range tomorrow morning. Temperatures climbing a little bit overnight tonight, minus 15 in Grand Prairie. You'll get back to about minus 6. 10 degrees cooler, though, in Fort McMurray. Edson's already above zero by tomorrow afternoon, while Vegreville should be around minus 10. And we'll be in that minus 9 to 12 range. Coronation north towards Lloydminster. Red Deer gets to minus 3 here in the city, somewhere in the minus 1 to minus 3 range for highs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then, as we pointed out earlier, not a lot of snow in the forecast over the next 5 to 10 days, but there is a big warm-up as we close the month and head into the first week of February. That is your forecast.
Local students are keeping a nonprofit charity initiative alive by providing free clothing and hygiene products to people in need. Ross Shepherd High School held its Giveology thrift event over the weekend. Students filled the school's gym with piles of donated items so families could take items they need for free. The founder started the drive when she was in grade 11 after discovering one of her friends was facing homelessness. She says in its first year, the drive gathered around 5,000 items, and now that number's doubled to 10,000.
Through the charity drive that I was running, I allowed the student, through the help of the Black Student Alliance at Ross Shepherd, to come and take whatever food and clothing and hygiene products that we accumulated. And we also made some gift baskets with the help of our families. However, I realized you can't just do that one time. You need to continuously give and continuously support the community.
48 students volunteered Saturday. Another 30 helped in the lead-up. Giveology also gives to organizations like Hope Mission and the Mustard Seed. A relaxation technique is helping some Edmontonians stay grounded. It's a form of bathing, but there's no water involved. CTV's Connor Hogg explains.
We live in a society of people that are perpetually living on fumes. And I think, we can do that short term, but long term, it's just not feasible.
Desiree Van Domslaar says that between business clients and family, she needed something to help her take a break from the stresses of daily life.
Beginning to tune into that aspect of yourself that senses and feels.
She found sound bathing, no water involved, with an immersion into a soundscape created by former jazz pianist Marcus Fung.
It was so complex and so many notes and there were so many things and music became stressful for me, and I kind of had my own personal recovery by playing the singing bowls, which was like, I'm just playing one note and it's going to play for 3 minutes.
Fung's interest in sound bathing grew from there, incorporating more notes, as well as different kinds of singing bowls, in addition to rain sticks, ocean drums, and a gong.
Brings me into this way better place that's just so much more grounded and centered.
Fung says his job is similar to a DJ's, balancing different tones together to create the desired effect.
Sound at the most intimate or kind of innate and primal level.
This actually allows me to just forget about everything, relax completely, and then therefore my whole body gets to enjoy just the frequency and vibration that makes me feel better.
Fung says the experiences of the participants, whether they're anxious, happy, frustrated, or grateful, factor into his responses as he picks which notes to play.
People refer to it as like a reset. That makes sense.
Just a bunch of people laying down with blankets and pillows.
A break from the world of clicking and swiping for something a little more restful.
Well, we're going to close our session today.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. Have a great night.